ever notice how some days just feel better than others? It might not be because something huge and amazing happened. Sometimes it's just a simple shift in how you're looking at things. Well, today we're going to dive into exactly that. This powerful little thing called gratitude. We're going to break down what it really is and how you can actually start using it to change your whole outlook.
So let's kick things off with a little question for you. Think about this. A really good cup of coffee in the morning, the sound of rain tapping on your window, and that sound of your family just laughing together. What on earth could possibly tie all those things together? What's the common thread?
And here it is. It's so simple, but also really deep. They are all reasons to feel grateful. And learning to see those reasons, to really notice and appreciate the good stuff that's already all around us, that's exactly what we're getting into today. So, what even is gratitude when you strip it all down? Because it's way more than just saying thank you. Let's get to the heart of this simple feeling that honestly has the power to change everything about your day.
At its most basic level, gratitude is just that feeling of being thankful for the good things in your life. Simple, right? But here's the magic trick. It's a conscious act. It's you deliberately choosing to appreciate what you have, instead of letting your brain automatically focus on what you think you're missing. And a huge takeaway here is that this isn't about waiting for some big lottery win or a huge life-changing event. No, the real practice of gratitude happens in the small stuff. Being thankful for your morning coffee, a song that just hits right, or, a really good piece of chocolate.
I love this quote because it just nails the feeling, right? As one person put it, it feels like a warm hug for your heart. And that's so important. This isn't some intellectual exercise. It's a real feeling, a feeling of warmth, comfort, and just being connected to the world in a good way. All right, so now that we've got a handle on what gratitude is and what it feels like, let's talk about its incredible range. Because once you actually start looking for it, you'll find reasons to be thankful absolutely everywhere, from the tiniest little details to the biggest, most amazing parts of life. You see, gratitude works on every level. It covers all the small, everyday joys that make life sweet, like that first sip of coffee or catching a beautiful sunset. But it also scales all the way up to the huge, foundational things we build our lives on, like our family, our health, a safe home, and even life itself. It really does cover the whole spectrum. And the truth is, gratitude is just woven into everything we experience if we just decide to pay attention. It's right there in the beauty of a tree, in the love you get from your cat or dog, the peace you find in a quiet moment, or even just in the simple, incredible ability to get up and dance. Okay, so understanding all this is one thing. But how do we actually make it a habit? How do we turn this idea into something we actually do? Let's get practical. Here are 2 super simple ways you can start practicing gratitude, like right now. And seriously, it is way simpler than you might think. First, just make a point to say thank you more often, and really feel it when you say it. And second, here's the real game changer. Every day, just take a moment to notice 3 good things. That's it. This one little exercise can completely rewire your thinking for the day. And here's a perfect example. When Paul was asked to name 3 things, he didn't have to go searching for something epic. His list was right there in the moment. The sun, my breakfast, and this conversation. It just goes to show you really don't have to overthink it. And here's another one. Emily's list was just as personal and immediate. My cozy bed, music,
and this wonderful talk. You see, the key isn't what you're grateful for. The magic is in the act of simply noticing the good stuff that's right there in your own world. So this all brings us to probably the most important point of all. Gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling or some daily to-do list. It's a choice. It's a way of thinking that can totally change how you see, well, everything. And this is so crucial to remember. This is not about ignoring the hard stuff in life. Gratitude doesn't mean you pretend problems don't exist. Not at all. It's about recognizing that even on a really tough day, good things are still there, right alongside the struggle. There's always something good to notice. This quote just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? Gratitude is the lens you choose to look at the world through. It's an active, deliberate decision to focus on the good that is present in your life every single day. It is, quite simply, a happy choice. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. And don't just let it slide by. I mean it. Take a real second to answer it for yourself. What's one thing, big or small, that you're grateful for right now, in this moment? Because finding that feeling and holding on to it, that's where it all begins.
Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're actually shifting focus a bit, looking inward. We're exploring gratitude. We've gathered insights from several, well, quite personal conversations about living a thankful life. Our mission here is to really unpack the scope, the structure, and maybe some practical ways to think about this mindset.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because gratitude sounds, well, soft. But the sources we looked at treat it almost like a cognitive tool. The core idea wasn't just feeling thankful. It was about actively noticing and then intentionally expressing it. You actually have to do it for it to work, apparently.
Right, that's a key difference. It's active, not just polite.
Yeah.
But the challenge, I think, is just how broad it is. The talks we reviewed mentioned being thankful for, well, everything. Little things, huge things, it's vast.
Exactly, that universality. And that's what we need to map out a bit. Did the sources kind of separate, being grateful for your morning coffee versus, say, your family?
They absolutely did. We could call it a spectrum, maybe. We can start with the small stuff, the immediate things, like state gratitude. And the sources were full of these examples. A really good cup of coffee. Or just feeling cozy in bed, a comfy chair. Even just noticing the sun is out when you thought it'd be gray.
Mm-hmm. Those little comforts, they ground you, don't they?
Yeah.
In the moment. It's like sensory input that just brings immediate ease. And some are really personal. Someone mentioned chocolate, that instant lift. Or a specific meal, like mom's soup, described as being full of love. It's not just food, it's, an emotional cue.
Yeah.
A positive signal.
Yeah, exactly. But listing those small things, it feels like it points to something bigger, right? If you zoom out from the coffee and the soup. What were the foundational anchors? The big stuff.
Right. This is where we move into more like trait gratitude and the steady stuff. And no surprise, family was huge. Loved ones, the people always there for you. Then friends, one source called them a gift. Something that just makes life better. Connection.
Connection and security, too. Home came up a lot. Not just four walls, but a safe, happy place, a sanctuary. But maybe the most consistent one, health.
Oh, definitely. Health.
Yeah.
And not just avoiding being sick. In these conversations, gratitude for health was tied to agency. Being thankful you can actually move, walk, run, play, engage with the world physically. Seems like without that physical capacity, appreciating other things gets harder.
That ability to move, to engage, it connects right into how we experience everything else. Which brings us maybe to section 2. Broadening out from just survival and comfort, looking at things that enrich life senses, learning, even spirituality.
Yeah, okay. So sensory stuff, beyond just comfort. Nature, for instance. People talked about trees, just tall, beautiful trees, or flowers, bright colors, red, yellow, pink. It's about noticing the beauty that's just there, often ignored.
And that noticing, that deliberate pause, it applies to pets, too. We heard some really specific, lovely mentions. A cat, Luna, a dog, Rocky. They weren't just pets, they were sources of, guaranteed joy, laughter.
Yeah, pets are a great example of that connection outside of humans. And then sounds, auditory gratitude. The sound of rain came up described as calm and peaceful, creates a mood. But then also, the opposite, almost the sound of laughter. One person called it the best music in the world.
Huh. It's fascinating how physical ability and noticing sensory details then links to, like, our minds. People were thankful for learning new things, not just for work or whatever, but because it feels good. Curiosity, it makes the brain happy, as one source put it. Gratitude for a growing brain.
Exactly. That joy of mental expansion, it mirrors the physical, the ability to move, to dance, feel rhythm that was called pure joy. It's gratitude for being able to physically express life, you know.
So when you put all that together, the sensory, the mental, the physical, it all seems to build towards the deepest level. Gratitude for just being here.
It really does. It leads to that simple idea, being thankful for life itself, just being alive. Each day is an opportunity. And for some, naturally, this included faith. We saw specific mentions of gratitude to God, for life, for Jesus, providing this fundamental sense of hope and peace. It's like a bedrock.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the range of things, and kind of the why it matters. But now for someone listening, the key is the how. How do we actually turn this idea, this framework, into something we do, a daily practice?
Well, the sources were pretty clear on two simple but apparently effective methods. Because gratitude needs consistency to become a trait, not just a feeling.
Right. So method one seems to be about connecting with others, just using those two little words, thank you, more often. But it wasn't just about manners, was it?
No, it's deeper. It's about the social effect. Saying thank you, even for small things, to a cashier, a bus driver, it's an act of noticing. You're signaling, I see you and what you did. And that creates this immediate positive loop, a win-win, they called it. Makes both people feel a bit better.
I like that framing thank you as a conscious social act. Okay, and method two, the three things rule, we've probably all heard of it, but again, the framing matters.
Right. The advice is simple. Take a moment, maybe when you wake up or before sleep, and deliberately find 3 specific things you're grateful for that day. It's not just about warm fuzzies. It's about cognitive rewiring.
Rewiring. Explain that a bit.
Well, when you actively look for positives every single day, even tiny things like the examples, the sun, breakfast, a nice chat, you're basically training your brain to scan for the good stuff first, shifting your default away from problems towards, abundance. And yeah, it's easy. And it tends to make you smile because you're choosing that focus.
Okay, that brings us to the payoff, the so what. If people actually do these things consistently, what's the big impact?
The overall sense was that gratitude stops being just an emotion and becomes more like a lens, a filter. It's a way of seeing life, a happy choice. It helps you actively spot the good in the world, maybe before you spot the bad.
But hang on. If gratitude applies to everything, is there a risk it becomes meaningless? Or worse, does it mean we just ignore real problems, pretend everything's fine?
That's the crucial point. It's not denial. It's more like perspective triage. Gratitude gives emotional resilience. It fills you up a bit. It reminds you, even on a really tough day with work stress or whatever, that your life still has a lot of good in it. The foundation is often still okay, even as part of it is shaky.
Which connects to that warning we heard, the danger of just overlooking things. We get so caught up in worries, problems, that we miss the small moments of happiness.
Exactly. And those little moments, a smile, a nice sunset, good food, they're the fuel.
Yeah.
When we actually pause to notice them, we realize maybe life feels better than our worry level suggests.
We should also quickly mention the arts here. That came up too. Gratitude for books, how they let you travel in your mind, escape, explore.
And music, how it can just instantly shift your mood. It's a mood adjuster, right? For calm, for energy. And the sources implied we often take these amazing things, reading, listening, totally for granted. They're just always there.
So, wrapping this all up, from the tiny joy of chocolate to the huge relief of good health or deep faith, the message seems to be, gratitude is a choice, a practice. It's about opening your eyes to see what's already good, not just focusing on what's missing.
Precisely. It's acknowledging all the support systems, internal and external, that just let us live our daily lives. So for that final thought to chew on, we mentioned books and music. But think about the hidden stuff behind the really ordinary things you depend on. What about, say, the electricity in your house? Or the clean water from your tap? Or even the incredibly complex global network that got the ingredients for mom's soup to your local store? Consider that huge, invisible scaffolding holding up your everyday comfort and joy. Things you only notice when they break. What are you grateful for today that relies on millions of people you'll absolutely never meet? Definitely something to think about. Thank you for diving deep with us today.